Samaria was both a region and a city that experienced many changes throughout the biblical history. To explain the origins of the Samaritans, we must go back to the days of the kings. After King Solomon ruled over the Israelites, God's people, the unwise actions of his son Rehoboam in the 10th century BC led to a schism in which the kingdom was split into the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah, each with its own king. Both kingdoms devolved into corruption and sin. Despite repeated warnings from prophets sent by God, God warned they would be overtaken by conquerors. The northern kingdom fared worse than the southern kingdom, with a long line of wicked rulers. It didn't help that the temple where God's people were to worship was located in the southern kingdom. Samaria was founded by Omri. According to the Bible, the city was named after Schemer, whose land was purchased by King Omri, so that he might build a residence there and probably a religious center for the Canaanites in his kingdom. Seeing that King Omri had his main residence in Jezreel. Jezreel and Bethel was considered the religious capital of the northern kingdom. Samaria was the capital of the northern kingdom of Israel. It was situated on a well-rounded hill, 300 feet high, in a rich and beautiful valley of surprising beauty, crowned with luxurious palaces and gardens. Isaiah called it a glorious beauty. It was surrounded on three sides by mountains, as impregnable as it was beautiful. In Hebrew, the name Samaria means watch mountains or watchtower, which correlates with its hilly feature. The place is referred to as the Hill of Samaria. The city of Samaria was located in central Israel, of about 30 miles north of Jerusalem and 6 miles northwest of Shechem. Samaria was strongly defensively controlled the valley through the which main road ran between Jerusalem and Galilee. In 722 BC, the city fell to the Assyrians and became headquarters of Assyrians. Assyrians conquered Israel and took most of its people into captivity. Many of the people of Israel were led off to Assyrian as captives, but some remained in the land and intermarried with foreigners planted there by the Assyrians. These half-Jewish, half-Gentile people became known as the Samaritans. In 586 BC, the Babylonians conquered the southern kingdom of Judah. In 515 BC, when Cyrus permitted Jews to return from Babylonian exile, Samaritans were ready to welcome them back. Samaritans wanted to join in the rebuilding the temple in Jerusalem, but their assistance was rejected by Jews. After rejection by Jews, pure political hostility, opposition, and hatred became strong between them. Samaritans waited for Jewish travelers from Galilee to Jerusalem to kill them on feast days. Samaritans threw human bones in the temple of Jerusalem on the feast days of Passover. This act, according to the Jews, defiled the sanctuary, making it impossible to celebrate the most important feast of the year. Jews called Samaritans a herd, not a nation. Jewish people stated that a piece of blood given by the Samaritans more unclean than a swine's flesh. In 128 BC, the leader of Judea completely destroyed the Samaritan capital. The Samaritans saw themselves as the keepers of the Torah and the true descendants of Israel from the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. They had their own unique copy of the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of Moses, and believed they alone preserved the original Mosaic religion. Samaritans also had a unique religious system and established their primary worship site on Mount Gerizim. They considered the Jerusalem temple and the Levitical priesthood illegitimate. Their faith concentrates on 5 affirmations. There is one God, Yahweh. Its chief mediator is Moses. The Torah is the vehicle of meditation. The central worship site is Mount Gerizim. And the Messiah will initiate a future day of vengeance and recompense. When everything is going wrong, there came a man to break that hatred between them and spoke to woman at the well, who was rejected by all. God's thoughts are always very unique. God knows the part of you that you have yet to discover about yourself. He knows about you more than you know about yourself. Maybe that's the reason he chose her. God saw the hidden potential of the woman at the well that no one else saw. Your potential might be invisible to man, but it is visible to God. If He could break that hatred between them and made impossible possible, He could definitely change your life from your toughest addictions.